right, guys, we are back. Good evening, good morning, or good afternoon. As always, hey, it's great to see you. And guys, we're going to be talking about iPhones today. You know, it's funny to think, or when you look at the path where smartphones in general have come over the years, and where we are right now today, and the amount of information that you can get at your fingertips from something so darn small. It's pretty amazing. Now, iPhones have become a very powerful secondary and even a primary camera for photographers. Now, in my case, my main camera is the R5 and the R, and I still use my iPhone a lot. And when I say a lot, right now today, I have over 32,000 photos on this little device right now. Now, granted, most of these photos, or at least 75% of them, have taken place over the last 5 years. And, well, as many of you know, I have a 5-year-old son, so I take a lot of photos, geez, if I can speak right here, a lot of photos of that little guy. Now, of course, Apple just announced 4 different models or 4 different sizes with the 12 series of phones here. You have the Mini, which is the small 4.7-inch screen, and you have the Max on this side, which has the 6.7-inch screen. Those incidentally go on sale in November. And then you have the 12 and the 12 Pro that went on sale for pre-order last week. Those two share the same screen size of 6.1 inches. And in this video, guys, we're going to be focusing on the 12 and the 12 Pro. But since the pre-orders for the new iPhone 12 began last Friday, October 16th, I snatched up one so we can crank out some reviews and comparison videos. Now, which one did I get and which one would I recommend for you? Well, those recommendations will really depend on your budget and what you need or what your needs are. Now, in today's video, we're going to take a detailed look at these phones to see which one is right for you. We'll focus mostly on the photography capabilities of these phones since this is a photography channel. But before we dive into today's video, I just want to say a big thank you for all of you for tuning in. Guys, I sincerely appreciate your support and your engagement with these videos. If you subscribe to the channel, hey, you're awesome. Thank you. If you haven't yet subscribed to the channel, I sure would appreciate you considering doing so. Would love to have you part of the family. Besides, you need to be a subscriber to qualify as a winner for our monthly giveaways. And guys, we have some pretty kick-ass stuff that we give away each month. Now, with that out of the way, pull up a seat and let's go. At first glance, the iPhone 12 and the 12 Pro, guys, they look really similar. They both have the 6.1-inch display and both phones are the exact same size. Pro outweighs the iPhone 12 by a couple ounces, but they still have the same form factor. Now, in terms of specs and features, these phones are much closer than the iPhone 11 and the 11 Pro were a year ago. For example, both these phones have Super Retina XDR OLED display, whereas the iPhone 11 had the LED display and the iPhone 11 Pro had the OLED display. The 12 Pro's display is brighter at 800 nits than the regular iPhone 12 at 625 nits, which in many circumstances might not matter. However, if you use your phone a lot for photography, like I do, having that extra bright screen is going to be really helpful for composing shots in bright sunny days. Or bright situations, period. Now, if we take a look at some of the other specs of these phones, you can see just how much they have in common. You're talking about 5G, HDR display, haptic touch, 2 million to 1 contrast ratio, the fingerprint resistant coating, support for display in multiple languages and characters simultaneously, splash, water and dust resistant, the A14 Bionic chip, the MagSafe wireless charging, and the 12 megapixel true depth front facing camera. Now, keeping that in mind, there are some notable differences. The iPhone 12 has a smaller storage options starting at the 64, 128, and 256 gigs versus the 12 Pro has the 128, the 256, and the 512 gigs. Yeah, that's a big one right there. Now, if you're like me and you take a lot of photos and video on your phone, having that option for the bigger storage is definitely a big bonus that, of course, comes with the 12 Pro. The iPhone 12's body is made of aluminum and comes in fun colors like black, you have white, green, blue, and product red. And the iPhone 12 Pro body is made of stainless steel, which earlier I mentioned, this weighs a little bit, the Pro weighs a little bit more. It's because of the stainless steel. But this comes in higher end colors like the silver, graphite, gold, and Pacific blue. So you can see how close these phones are in terms of basic features and specs. There's really not a lot to talk about in terms of differences in their basic performance as a phone, except the camera. Now, if you're a photographer, you're going to want to zero in on this part of the video because the camera is where these two phones have significant differences. The most obvious difference is that the 12 Pro has 3 cameras rather than the 12 has 2. The 12's cameras include a 12 megapixel ultra wide with a 2.4 aperture and a 12 megapixel wide angle with a 1.6 aperture. Now the 12 Pro sports the same ultra wide and the wide angle lenses, but also has a 12 megapixel telephoto lens with a f2 aperture. The 12 Pro also has improved optical zoom, which includes a 2x optical zoom in and a 2x optical zoom out, a 4x optical zoom range, and up to a 10x digital zoom. Meanwhile, the iPhone 12 has a 2x optical zoom out and a digital zoom up to 5x. Now obviously having the telephoto lens and the improved zooming capabilities mean that you can get higher quality shots of distance objects with the 12 Pro than you can with the 12. The 12 Pro's camera has dual optic image stabilization for the wide angle and the telephoto camera versus optical stabilization on the wide angle lens that the 12 has. Having 2 stabilized cameras rather than 1 could be a big factor for those of you who are looking for a good phone for photography. The 12 Pro has a LiDAR scanner which allows you to get more comprehensive 3D mapping to take place. The LiDAR scanner also enables the 12 Pro autofocus system to work much more quickly in low light situations. So if you do a lot of low light imagery, the 12 Pro is the more capable camera. Now there's another new feature about the iPhone 12 Pro that really sets it apart as a better camera than the iPhone 12, and that is Apple Pro RAW. Apple Pro RAW combines, guys, the benefits of Apple computational photography like Smart HDR and True Fusion that instantly make your photos better, but also gives you all the benefits of shooting in RAW. Specifically, the image file retains all the data from the sensor, so you have much more information to work with when you're in post-processing. Now, this is a huge bonus for the iPhone 12 Pro. Before, you had to choose between shooting in RAW or reaping the benefits of Apple's computational photography tools. Now you get the benefits of both worlds. On the video front, both phones have a lot in common. You have the auto zoom, you have the brighter true tone flash, you have the quick take video, you have slow-mo video support for 1080p at 120 and 240 frames per second, you have time-lapse video with stabilization, nighttime time-lapse, you have extended dynamic range for video up to 60p, cinematic video, stabilization, 4K, 1080, and 720. Continuous autofocus video, and take 8 megapixel still photos while recording in 4K. They also share HDR video with Dolby Vision 4K video at 24, 30, 60 frames per second, 1080 video at 30 and 60 frames per second, and 720p video at 30 frames per second. Now, however, the 12 Pro gives you HDR video with Dolby Vision up to 60 frames per second, whereas the iPhone 12 only offers the feature up to 30 frames per second. Now, both phones have optical image stabilization for video with the wide angle lens, but where the iPhone 12 has 2x optical zoom out and the digital zoom up to 3x, the iPhone 12 Pro offers 2x optical zoom in and out, 4x optical zoom range, and a digital zoom up to 6x. In other words, the 12 Pro is the much more capable, feature-rich video camera. So, which one did I order? Now, I currently have the 256 gig iPhone 11 Pro, which has 1150 songs on it. I have 2,036 videos. I have 32,111 photos with 215 applications. The hell? You know what? Honestly, I had no idea I had that many apps on here. When I'm done with this video, there's gonna be some serious house cleaning there. I can't imagine that I'm using all those up, but regardless, all in all, this has left me with 85.44 gigs available. Considering my needs, I wanted a larger buffer of space available, and I wanted the best camera I could get without getting into the form factor of that, or that larger form factor of the Pro Max. So I pre-ordered the Pacific Blue iPhone Pro 12 with the 512 gigs of space. Now, as soon as this comes in, you can count on an unboxing video and a review, and who knows, perhaps a comparison video between the 11 Pro and the 12 Pro. What do you think? Leave a comment below. With more details on the iPhone 12 and the 12 Pro underneath your belt, let's shift our focus to our upcoming giveaway. Here's what we got to give away this month. We have an f-stop Dalston backpack, we have a Wander Dual Day Pack, and of course, the good old faithful $100 Adorama gift card. Now, entering the giveaway is super simple. Step 1, like this video and subscribe to our channel. Step 2, leave a comment below. In fact, the more of our videos that you leave a comment on, that you watch and leave a comment on, the more chances that you have to win. So get watching some of our videos and leave some comments. Step 3, register on Photography Talk and introduce yourself in the forum. If you did register on the site and you introduce yourself in one of the last giveaways, you're still eligible to win at this time. But guys, as I keep saying over and over, hey, swing on by, say hello. We would love to see you. And that is it. For complete details on the giveaway, including how to register on Photography Talk and how to say hello in the forum, check out the description below. Good luck. Well, there you go, friends. This was, as always, a lot of fun to get in front and put this video together for you. If you found some value, if you were mildly entertained, do me a favor, hit that like button down below. And if you currently aren't subscribed to the channel, again, sure would appreciate you hitting that subscribe button, or at least considering it. And of course, last but not least, hit that bell, smash it, kick it, so therefore you're notified each time that we come out with a new video. Friend, I'm going to get out of the office, so you get out there, stay healthy, and create your best shot.